Imagine trusting someone with your entire life savings. Someone respected, someone powerful, someone who seemed completely untouchable. Now imagine finding out it was all a lie. He managed money for celebrities, banks, charities, and wealthy families. That man was Bernie Madoff. And when the truth finally came out in 2008, more than $65 billion had disappeared. This is the story of the biggest financial fraud in history. In 1960, Bernie Madoff started a small investment firm in New York. He was not born wealthy. He was not part of an elite family. But he was ambitious. He worked in the early days of Wall Street, learning how markets moved and how money flowed. Slowly, his reputation grew. He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the flashiest, but he was seen as reliable. Over time, his firm expanded and became part of the financial elite. He even became the chairman of the Nasdaq. To the world, Bernie Madoff was not just successful, he was trusted, and that trust would become his most powerful weapon. Most investments go up and down. Markets crashes, economies struggle, losses are normal. But Madoff's clients noticed something strange. Their accounts never seemed to lose money. Not during recessions, not during market crashes, not even during financial crises. Every month, the returns looked stable, almost too stable. But instead of questioning it, people believed it was skill. Because in finance, consistency is rare, and rare things often look like genius. But there was no genius strategy. The truth was, they were getting scammed. There were no real investments behind most of the returns. Bernie Madoff was running a Ponzi scheme. Here's how it worked. New investors would put money into the fund. That money was not invested. Instead, it was used to pay profits to earlier investors. So it looked like everyone was making money, but in reality, money was just being recycled. As long as new investors kept joining, the illusion continued. But the system had one fatal weakness. It needed constant growth, and growth cannot last forever. So how did no one notice? The answer is simple: trust and exclusivity. Madoff didn't accept everyone. People had to be introduced to invest with him. That made his fund feel exclusive, like a private financial club. And when something feels exclusive, people assume it must be legitimate. Even major institutions trusted him. Even experienced investors ignored warning signs. Because if everyone important believes in something, it must be safe, right? But that belief would prove devastating. Not everyone was convinced. A financial analyst named Harry Markopoulos studied Madoff's returns, and he noticed something impossible. The numbers didn't make sense mathematically. He repeatedly warned regulators that something was wrong, but his warnings were ignored. For years, Madoff's reputation was strong, and no one wanted to be the person who questioned a Wall Street legend.
Then came 2008. The global financial crisis hit, markets collapsing, fear spread everywhere. Investors began pulling their money out of funds rapidly.
Suddenly, billions of dollars were being requested from Madoff's firm. But there was a problem. The money wasn't there. It had never really been invested. The entire system depended on new cash coming in. And now, it had stopped. The illusion was collapsing. In December 2008, Bernie Madoff confessed the truth to his sons. There was no investment strategy, no hidden genius, just a massive fraud. His sons reported him to authorities the next day, and the world of finance exploded in shock. Thousands of investors had lost everything: retirees, charities, families, lives were destroyed overnight. This time, water had gone over the head. The FBI stepped in. Bernie Madoff was arrested shortly after. In 2009, he pleaded guilty to multiple federal crimes. The court sentenced him to 150 years in prison. A lifetime behind bars. The man who once stood at the center of Wall Street was now its greatest cautionary tale. The story of Bernie Madoff is not just about one man. It is about trust, about greed, and about the danger of believing something just because it looks safe. Because in investing, if something looks too consistent, too perfect, too predictable, then it is worth asking one question. Is it real, or is it an illusion? Because in this case, the illusion lasted 40 years, and when it finally broke, billions disappeared. Would you have invested with Bernie Madoff? If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more true crime and financial mystery stories, and tell us in the comments.